What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Thursday edition of NBA Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. We got a little J.J. Abrams Star Trek glare going on. Lens flares. Woo, production value. Actually, I don't know what's going on. I got to fix this light above me or something. I look orange. You're going to have to deal with it, but you're also going to have to deal with my crappy picks the last couple days. But Wednesday, Tyrese Maxey is really what matters the most for me in the evening window. Pretty light here. Jalen Johnson just got scratched, so that came out of nowhere. But I want to especially give a big FU to NBA beat reporters for not responding to any DMs or any messages. You New York people, let me know what happened with Deuce McBride there. I wanted to get some bets down on things, and then all of a sudden found out that he wasn't even on the starting lineup, like wasn't introduced, even though he was in the starting lineup on the page. And then he gets ruled out after the fact, which is okay. It's a voided ticket, but not in the DFS streets. If you were playing NBA DFS over at Stochastic, that's a 0 in your lineup, and that is an absolute stone cold disaster. I need better reporting. Plus, I would have single game parlayed everything. Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, would have put them all into a pool. And hey, Karl Anthony Towns played like shit, but I couldn't even find a Cameron Payne line. Couldn't even find anything. Get better, NBA reporters. You're making this so unbelievably difficult. It's like, it doesn't even matter if I do it the night before, the morning of, 10 minutes before a game starts. It doesn't even matter. You guys are so bad at your jobs. Get better so we can put out great content and enjoy this NBA, which has been down in viewership and it's just been a disaster. It's my favorite sport, and so I'm very passionate about it. Please figure your stuff out, NBA beat reporters. We need to know when guys have hamstring injuries in pregame warmups or whenever it happened, because apparently it was a hamstring injury. Very excited to watch Tyrese Maxey play basketball tonight, though. Go Philly. That's not something you hear me say very often. Kelly Oubre ruled out as we're here on this program. Let's go. Hopefully you jumped in on that premium Discord. I posted that really, really early. 50% off if you guys want to jump in there. Posted that nice early in the morning. We're going to get tons of CLV on that, but I'm going to get myself out of here to go watch that here in a second. Also, I'm in a bad mood because Oregon got blasted and my wife is not happy and my in-laws are not happy. Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. It's like I have a halo. This, like, what is actually going on with this lighting? Product, it's gone way down here. Not just because my picks have been terrible for like 5 days. But Indy, +2.5 taking on Miami. We're going to get ourselves on the right track here. But this is one that I definitely like. Miami on a back-to-back. And if you saw Jimmy Butler shoot a one-footed three-pointer in a corner in that first quarter, no, your eyes did not deceive you. He is out there not trying. He had one of the weirdest interviews ever. Greg Ehrenberg over on the Stochastic YouTube channel and Odd Chopper here as well brought it up to me and had me go look at it. And I do think Jimmy Butler's like legitimately upset to be in Miami. And you had Pat Riley come out and say, we're not trading him. And you had his agent come out and say that that's not true. Shams Charania is lying. Shams bombs. Those are going to be real things here coming up very shortly. And, well, D'Angelo Russell already off to a nice start there in Brooklyn. Watched a lot of that first half because it was more interesting than the Rose Bowl. But Indy, in this spot, you look at some of the pace metrics for them. You have a couple of pieces that are starting to get healthier here. You're starting to get more minutes for the likes of TJ McConnell at times when they need it. They have Thomas Bryant, Obi Toppin, both available in their front court. And Obi Toppin was out randomly there the other day. They do have some strange rotations here, but Aaron Nesmith, he's the only guy who's officially out here on this team. Andrew Nembhard, completely off the injury report. I think that bodes well because the splits have been drastic in terms of their defensive rating with him on and off the floor. And Miami on a back-to-back, this seems like a great spot to snag 2.5 here with Indy. I think it's just as straightforward as it gets. That is over at BetMGM, -115. Again, it's 5 cents more here to get that as opposed to a 1.5, but I'm getting a full point better than you're getting on DK or FanDuel here at the moment. So hence, Indy +2.5. Go snag that BetMGM. Boston at Minnesota. This is a really, really hard one. Obviously, Minnesota, I'm mad at because +7.5. They lose by 8 in OKC, and they never should have. That never should have happened in that fourth quarter. And an egregious finish to it, no doubt about it. But this game specifically has a big Q tag lingering, and Drew Holiday and Al Horford are off the injury report entirely. If Derek White or Peyton Pritchard, God forbid, ends up on the injury report, that's one thing. But I basically nailed Peyton Pritchard's stat line like to a T the other day, so hopefully some people capitalized on that. I personally did not. Made it a lean. didn't even really forget about it. It was Kristaps Porzingis, the only one who was out. He is going to be questionable for this one, I suppose, as well, although I think he's closer to doubtful. So the big lingering Q tag in terms of what the prop numbers are going to be set at is Jaylen Brown. He is questionable. He's arguably been 1A here for Boston over the course of the last year or so. Producer Jacob, is that Joaquin Phoenix, Jaylen Brown, number one? Oh, yeah, we got the thumbs up. I knew that was coming here. Also, we're like shooting a movie here. What if I just have the light in the middle of my face the rest of the time? It's more interesting than talking about this game at the moment. I do think Minnesota at home, +4. Dante DiVincenzo decided to just completely fall flat on his face. I took a free bet, a $10 free bet. Thanks so much for the $10 free bet, DK. I missed like $50 free bets, $100 free bets. I haven't gotten those forever. I think it's because I'm good at this. Not lately. Brooklyn getting 14, taking on Milwaukee. Said it before, I'll say it again. D'Angelo Russell off to a swinging start here for the Brooklyn Nets, looking really, really good here in that first half, and thought he'd take over a lot of usage, but did not end up getting the official start there in that spot. So want to at least throw that out there. I'm not concerned that he ends up, getting a start or doesn't get a start. I think he's going to be out on that floor a hell of a lot here, but they ended up going with the Ben Simmons, Keon Johnson, Cameron Johnson, Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton starting lineup. But he had 17 first half minutes there for D'Angelo Russell, and now checked back in here. I think he's going to be playing 28, 30 minutes here. I thought he was going to play like a lot more than that. I thought he would end up closing here in this spot against, who are they playing again? Toronto. Such a weird spot, that's for sure. And, Toronto, just random news coming out from the clouds. Oh, RJ Barrett's going to be out. Oh, cool. Great. Glad we evaluated that one. Grady Dick playing the second half of their back-to-back. NBA reporters are not being helpful here lately. I generally just scour news all the time. I'm on X 24/7 like I'm Elon Musk or something, but just saying, come on, guys, get better. You got to help me out a little bit. Boss, need the info. But this is another lean, but I'm going to call it a like-ish because Milwaukee, yes, they've gotten healthier here. Yes, they've gotten themselves Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo back on the floor. If you got somebody randomly ruled out, if Brooklyn ends up sitting Ben Simmons on this back-to-back, wouldn't be completely shocked. Now, don't forget, Cam Johnson, somebody that they're probably going to be looking at trading. D'Angelo Russell, probably just going to be standing pat the rest of the year. That was a nice salary dump for the Lakers to a certain extent. Getting DFS, more of a winning basketball player, and Shake Milton, whose props weren't even available. We'll get to that one at the last game of the night. But Brooklyn +14. I'm putting the lean like together here. I haven't bet it yet, but if this gets to 15 and a half, you got to really consider Brooklyn. We're talking about Doc Rivers coaching. We're talking about Doc Rivers as like a 15, 16-point spread in any basketball game. That has to be considered. I'm going to be considering it for sure. And consider saving 50% by signing up for the Discord down below. Lindy50, that is the code. $20 for your first week becomes $10. $50 for your first month becomes $25. I don't know why I had such a pause in the middle of those two, but you know what? Lindy50, there's no pause. It is a period at the end of that. Full stop, 50% off the premium Discord. Get OddsShopper, get the app so you get the notification sent directly to your phone when I post things like 30 plus for Tyrese Maxey. And then you know what? 35 plus for Tyrese Maxey. Looking at a nice baby little miniature ladder. It feels good, friends. You want to get that sent exactly when I fire that up in the mornings? Well, you can do so by signing up for the app. Lindy50 would love to see you there. Down at the link below. Back to the picks we go. We're at the halfway point here as I'm like, again, this light is just bugging me. I apologize to everybody involved. I will be better tomorrow. We got ourselves the Clippers +9.5 taking on OKC. Hit that like button for me if you wouldn't mind. I'm looking at Ivica Zubac's rebound ladder. I'm going to be pretty quick about my analysis here. First off, I do think that the spread is more towards, I'm looking at the Clipper side. Obviously, if I had major blowout concerns, I would stay away. But the one Achilles heel for the last 2 years for OKC, even with Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor, has been rebounding. Now, they're number one in defensive rating. They're number one in so many statistical categories across the board here in terms of defense. But they are 29th in rebounding in the NBA, which is not great when you have 32 teams. Just throwing it out there, 29th in rebound rate, even with Isaiah Hartenstein on the floor for over half of that sample size now. So it's starting to get a little bit concerning that they're still going to bail out and just sell out in the name of defense, as they should, because it's better analytically. But I think Ivica Zubac runs into an awesome spot because, one, his rebound rate is out of control. Two, you have Isaiah Hartenstein, a true center on the other side, who he's probably going to be matching up for a majority of those minutes. And three, if this game's competitive, I think each rung of that ladder becomes more predictive for me to see 16, 18 rebounds in the range of outcomes for Ivica Zubac here in this spot. I tell you, I have tons of interest in this ladder based on where his historical numbers have been. And because they're facing a team as nearly a 10-point double-digit spread, I think it's a little bit harsh purely because they were on the tail end of a back-to-back. And, well, we know how that ended up turning out for them. Norman Powell goes nuts in the first game, goes absentee ballot in the second game. So, yeah, we're going to be looking at Ivica Zubac's rebounds ladder here. I expect that number to be like in the 12.5, 13.5 realm for the opening number, but 16 plus, 18 plus, 20 plus. These are things over on FanDuel where it's traditionally had the best numbers. Sometimes DK mixes in there as well, but Ivica Zubac's rebound ladder against Hartenstein and OKC, I think is really, really interesting. Plus, waiting for prop exposure, and both of these do look more efficient than they should be, although I do have the Clippers at plus 8.5. This is probably my favorite game of the favorite game of the night to bet. I think prop exposure is going to be coming our way here. Philly plus 2.5 taking on Golden State, and Kelly Oubre ruled out here. It's going to be the Tyrese Maxey show against Sacramento. I had a pretty good feeling about that one, and obviously getting a little bit of news working for you is never bad, but Kelly Oubre will be taking on his former team. I think that's interesting. Paul George, well, I think he will be available for this back-to-back, and we know Joel Embiid not playing against Sacramento in order to play against Golden State here and take advantage of that Trace Jackson-Davis matchup, although he would have just made Sabonis his little baby bitch boy too. So it is what it is. But I look at this one, friends, and I see the over of 219.5 as very, very positive EV. We've got a 223.5 for you right now, but I'm telling you now, I'm going to try to read the tree leaves. Well, I guess trees do have leaves. The tea leaves in the morning. I think those are more applicable to read. I'm going to try to find some prop exposure here immediately because Steph Curry also going to be questionable. And that is a big one here where I think we could run into some interesting starting lineups without Podziemski, without Gary Payton available for this one too. So tons of Q tags that exist, but that uncertainty creates prop value. I'm excited about it, but no matter what, even with Steph out, I think that this is going to be in that 221.5, 222 range. So I'm telling you right now, bet it, move on. Now, I said I had my most prop exposure that I'm expecting from that last game, but this is my favorite prop that we ran into in quite some time. Famous last words, right? Portland plus 8.5 taking on the Lakers. And I want to read a couple of things here for you. First off, D'Angelo Russell has now departed here from the Los Angeles Lakers. Since Christmas Day, the 25th, 3 games the Lakers have played. Do you know who leads the Lakers in usage? Do you know who leads the Lakers in assist rate? Do you know who is third on the Lakers in terms of rebound rate? Well, I will tell you. First in usage is Austin Reeves. Second in assist rate is Austin Reeves at 39.7%, just behind 43.6% for LeBron James. And third in rebound rate at 13% behind Christian Koloko, who's only played 9 minutes, so he barely even counts. He's basically number 2 in rebound rate behind Anthony Davis. And that is all minutes with D'Angelo Russell off the floor. Now, it's only a 94-minute sample size, but we are looking at a completely different situation that the market has not evaluated correctly, in my opinion. Austin Reeves is listed with 24.5 PRA at minus 125, which some might look at and say, that's a hefty amount of juice for a number that obviously could go to 25.5, and then it'd be like minus 110, minus 115, right? No. 24.5 at minus 125 right now is an absolute slam dunk over at Bet365. I'm going to have a little bit over a unit here invested in this one. I want to repeat one more time. His usage rate, nearly 30%. His assist rate, nearly 40%. Ridiculous stuff in those allotments. Those are the minutes without D'Angelo Russell off the floor. Fire that one. Thank me later. Gets to 25.5 inside of minus 115. Still a unit send. 26.5. We love this. Points plus assists. Let's fire it up. Did I say PRA? I hope I didn't say PRA. Producer Jacob just caught me. Points plus assists. 24.5. That is the bet. Minus 125 at Bet365. Damn good find. Why don't you suck it to me one more time? Let's leave. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board. Nice tight 15 minutes here on the program. Check it out. I'll be firing up NFL coming here shortly. We got Saturday and Sunday NFL games coming our way. Been a very profitable NFL season. Let's turn the page over to 2025 in style. And NBA, well, we're going to be waiting on Tyrese Maxey because Jalen Johnson scratched is just dumb. Anywho, producer Jacob, thank you so much. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.